In the heart of Ikioma town, where the air always carried the mixed scent of roasted corn, smoked fish, and rain-washed red earth, there lived a young woman named Ebube. She was known far and wide, not because she was rich, not because she was married to a powerful man, but because of her beauty. Ebube was breathtaking. Her skin glowed like morning light touching palm oil. Her eyes carried the calmness of a river at dawn, and her smile could melt the heart of even the coldest soul. Every day, she sold fish stew by the roadside, a special delicacy her mother had taught her before she died. People didn't just come for the taste of her stew. They came to see her. Men lingered longer than necessary, pretending to want extra fish. Women whispered her name in envy and admiration. Even children adored her kindness. She often gave them free pieces of fried yam when they came with their mothers. But behind that radiant smile and charm, there was something strange, something no one knew. Because when night fell, when the moon replaced the sun and the shadows deepened, Ebube's beauty vanished. Her once radiant skin would wrinkle and fold. Her glowing eyes would sink deep like wells of darkness. Her smooth hair would become coarse, dry, and unkempt. By night, she became unrecognizable, a creature trapped between woman and something ancient, something cursed. And so, every evening before the last light faded, Ebube hurried home. She closed her windows, locked her doors, and hid from the world. The street lights of Ikioma never saw her face after sunset. No one ever knew why. Ebube had moved into town 2 years before, after her mother's death. Her mother, Mama Nena, was once a herbalist known for her healing hands. But some said she also knew the old ways, the forbidden charms that touched the line between good and evil. Rumor had it that before her death, Mama Nena had made a pact, a desperate attempt to protect her daughter's beauty and future. Ebube had always been a sickly child, fragile and pale, until one night her mother disappeared into the forest for 3 days. When she returned, Ebube was transformed, vibrant, strong, and strikingly beautiful. But beauty, as the elders always say, is never free. In Ikioma, there was an annual festival, Iri Jinla, the Feast of New Yam, when everyone dressed in bright wrappers, drums echoed through the town, and dancers twirled under the moonlight. That year, the festival promised to be bigger than ever. Ebube had no intention of attending. She never stayed out late, never mingled after dark. But the market women teased her endlessly. "You think beauty will expire if moonlight touches it?" They laughed. "You should come. Let people see the pride of Ikioma." First she refused, but the thought of missing out weighed on her heart. She wanted, for once, to feel normal, to dance, to laugh, to be seen under the stars like everyone else. And so, for the first time since she arrived in Ikioma, Ebube agreed to attend the festival. That evening, as the drums rolled and flutes whistled, Ebube appeared at the village square wearing a flowing yellow gown. She looked divine, like a goddess descended to walk among mortals. Men stopped mid-conversation. Even the chief's son, Obina, couldn't take his eyes off her. Everyone murmured her name in awe. She danced with the crowd, her waist moving to the rhythm of the drums, laughter lighting up her face. The whole square seemed to revolve around her. But as the moon climbed higher and the night deepened, Ebube began to feel something shift inside her. Her chest tightened, her skin prickled, her head grew heavy. She looked around, panic flickering behind her smile. She needed to leave fast. But Obina, mesmerized by her beauty, held her hand and begged her to stay for one more dance. She hesitated, and in that hesitation, the curse awakened. The music dimmed, the drums slowed, and in the soft blue light of the moon, Ebube's face began to change. Her flawless skin wrinkled like dried leaves. Her smooth lips shriveled. Her shining eyes dulled to black pits. Gasps rose from the crowd as whispers turned into screams. "Jesus! What is that? She's a witch!" Ebube has turned into a monster. Children ran. Women covered their eyes. The chief's son stumbled backward in horror. Ebube screamed, not out of anger, but shame. She ran into the darkness, tears burning down her distorted cheeks. That night, Ikioma would never forget the sight of the beautiful stew seller who became ugly under the moonlight. The next morning, the market was quiet. Her stall, usually filled with laughter and aroma, stood empty. The pot was cold. The bench overturned. Whispers filled the air like smoke. Maybe she was using charm to sell her food. Maybe she's not even human. I heard she eats fish but never sells at night. What if she's one of those water spirits? Fear spread faster than the truth. No one saw Ebube again for days, until a group of children, playing by the riverbank, found her sitting quietly under a palm tree, staring at her reflection in the water. She was wearing a veil, her face hidden. The children called her name, but she didn't answer. Her stew pot sat beside her, untouched. The water rippled as if something beneath stirred, something that knew her secret. That night, she returned to her house and lit a single candle. The room was bare, just a mat, a stool, and a small shrine made of clay. At its center lay an old mirror framed with cowries and tied with red threads. Her mother's voice echoed faintly in her memory. "My child, your beauty will bring you favor, but never stay where the moon sees you. The gift must stay hidden." Tears rolled down her face. "Mama, why did you give me a gift that burns me?" she whispered into the silence. The candle flickered, the mirror shimmered, and for a moment, she saw her beautiful reflection again. But it wasn't real. It was the spirit's trick. Suddenly, a cold wind blew through the room. The candle went out, and the whisper came, soft, yet heavy as thunder. Beauty was borrowed, not given. The voice was the spirit's, the one her mother had bargained with long ago. It had come to collect its price. The next morning, a fisherman found Ebube's stew pot floating on the river, but no one found her body. Some said she had walked into the river and vanished. Others believed she had been taken by the spirit she defied. Days turned to weeks. Her story spread across Ikioma like a dark legend. But one night, under a full moon, something strange happened. The market women who sold by the river began to hear singing. A soft, haunting melody that sounded like a woman's voice drifting from the water. "Fish stew hot. Come taste my stew." The same tune Ebube used to hum at her stall. When they looked toward the river, they swore they saw her, half submerged, her hair floating like dark weeds, her eyes glistening faintly. She smiled, then disappeared beneath the water. Since then, no one sold fish stew by the riverside again. Years passed. Ikioma moved on, but the story never died. Parents used it to warn their daughters. Don't chase what you don't understand. Don't envy beauty, for beauty can be a curse. But some curious souls tried to uncover the truth. They found old records of Mama Nena's dealings, herbs, charms, and a ritual that bound the spirit of Marinwa, the river goddess of beauty, to her daughter's soul. The goddess granted beauty by day, but by night, the truth had to show, the form of the soul beneath the surface. Ebube's beauty had not been her own. It was the mask of a spirit that demanded secrecy and sacrifice. When she broke the rule by dancing under the moonlight, the mask shattered, revealing the price of unnatural perfection. In the years that followed, her story became a tale told to travelers passing through Ikioma. Elders would gather around the fire and begin. Once there was a woman whose beauty blinded men by day, but frightened spirits by night. Children would listen, wide-eyed, as the flames flickered across their faces. And somewhere deep in the forest, near the river that took her, some claimed to hear her voice on still nights, soft, sorrowful, singing to the moon. "Fish stew hot. Come taste my stew."